Hello, friend, and welcome. This is day 13 of 20 sessions of radiation therapy for breast cancer. Let's see, checking in with myself. How am I today? I'm a little tired. I I did a bunch of things, tried to knock a bunch of things off my to-do list this morning, and I probably pushed it a little bit further than I should. I think one of the things that being in cancer treatment reminds you of that we don't always remember is that it's really not a good idea to just kind of try to power through. That is really hard on your body. Now, it's hard on a normal body, and I've been doing that all of my life, but I'm having to rethink some things. I was trying to lay my hands on the book around here where I had learned about becoming unbusy and trying to find my equilibrium in terms of having spent so many years just trying to power through and how that can be damaging to the body. So I've been trying to find my way. And then, you add cancer on top of that. And then any day that you do just power through and try to just get through it, get the work done and at the expense of your body, you pay. You pay for it big time. So I'm learning that at the point in the day when my body says, nope, we're done, that I do need to really stop and just and even if it's a little break and I get up and do something later, it's still really important to listen to your body when you're going through cancer therapy. It's also important to really kind of pay attention to what you're putting in your body. And, your liver is really taxed. Chemo and radiation are really hard on the liver. So just be careful about putting anything else in the liver that it might not like, because giving it too much work to do is really not a good idea right now. I think the biggest example of that is alcohol. Just laying off the alcohol while you're in treatment is a really good idea. Yeah. And I'm surprised that it's not a bigger sacrifice as I thought it would be. It's not. It's actually not at all. I mean, it's different for different people, but I didn't grow up with alcohol, so I think it's maybe a little bit easier for me than it is for some people. And that's where growing up Mennonite is maybe a benefit. I don't know. I was going to talk a little bit about skincare today, but as I'm checking in with myself, I'm aware of the sunburn that I have here, which is not sunburn, it's radiation burn. I have a patch on my back that's swollen and pink. It's about like this. And so it's almost as if you can just see where they did the radiation because it's pink and it's swollen in the middle. Looks like a hamburger bun, although not that extreme, but it's on my back. And then around here, I have the numbness from the surgery, which is combined with the swelling from the radiation. And so I am aware of skin pain, but kind of distantly, thanks to the numbness that's there. So yeah, um, that's that's and the energy. I mean, the energy. I've tried to start this video now, like I've kind of lost track of how many times, but something always kind of went haywire. The dog started barking or something, or she wanted out, or she wanted in, or whatever. So my energy level is really kind of tanked in the effort to try to do this. But I wanted to talk a little bit about skincare through cancer, both chemo and radiation, because I think this is really something, especially with radiation, that you want to have good tools at your fingertips. But I also, I think with chemo as well, and I know I'm not the only one that's experienced this. When I started chemo, my skin turned out like I was 16 again. Just the full acne thing. Like it was really pretty. It was a little humiliating, to be honest. I found that very difficult. At my age of 50 mumble to be walking around looking like I'm a teenager with a bad acne. And no, not fun. So what I did is that I went for, I mean, I have a good product line of products that I use, but I just wasn't being very thorough, or I wasn't being very careful. Like I was using this really great, this is Young Living product, Art Gentle Cleanser. And I went from using it once a day to using it twice a day. And that really helped clear up that big acne outbreak. In the same series is Art Light Moisturizer. I don't really use it. My skin is oily enough that I don't really need to use that. But what I really, really love in that series is the Art refreshing toner, and I use this religiously. Sometimes, usually multiple times a day, because it's just really that good. I had a toner that I used to love, but when I did some assessment of it to figure out if it was as good as I thought it was, it turned out that it was highly toxic. The distractions are really amazing today. So anyway, I replaced that with this one and I love it. You can find this on the Young Living website. It used to be that you had to be a member of the multi-level marketing aspect of Young Living to get the products. You don't have to anymore, so you can just go to the website, pick out what you want. And I'm not involved in that process at all. But I do have... Thank you! I just got a delivery. Coco's telling me about it. I do have an autoimmune skin condition though, so when I find a cream or a skincare product that actually works for me without sending my skin absolutely into orbit, I pay attention, because if it'll work for me, then it's more likely to work for you. The Young Living hand and body lotion with lavender essential oil in it is relaxing, smells good, feels good. I like the body of this cream. It's not too heavy, not too light. I really like this one. And it works for my skin. Now they gave me a sample of this today because I was asking about what they recommend in radiation, the radiation department, and this is called Aquaphor. Okay, so this is something you can get at Walgreens or your neighborhood pharmacy. So this is the one that they recommend, the over the counter one that they recommend first. The second one that they recommend is one I also have had and used, and it works for me, and this is Eucerin. And then they offer, this is a prescription cream, mometasone. Yeah, mometasone. Okay, so that one you use in the evening, and in order to get it to kind of go on lightly and not like completely turn you white, like a chalkboard or like I don't know. What am I even saying? In order to use that, put it in a cup of hot water and just let it sit for a while, and that will thin it down to make it a lot easier to apply. Otherwise, you're actually working at it, rubbing it in a little too hard. That's not comfortable. So use that in the evening before you go to bed, which allows it to soak in overnight. And then, now I'm not a person to shower every day because my skin can't handle it. It just dries out and gets crazy itchy if I do that. So I will wipe that off in the morning. The places, I mean, it kind of congregates in the lines on my neck, and it's just, I'm ready to get it off of there by the morning. Now, don't wear cream like in the 2 hours or so before radiation. They don't want you greasy in there. I don't know if it would bounce the rays around or something. I don't know. But don't do that. But as soon as you get home, if you've got a morning session, then as soon as you get home, you can go ahead and apply something soothing. After you get to the point, let's say it that way, if you get to the point where you've got some open, weepy, sore stuff, then they recommend Neosporin with lidocaine. So it's Neosporin with pain relief. So keep an eye out for that as well at Walgreens. Now, there's 2 reasons why I think having a list of really good products that work for you is important. One, if you're going through it yourself, you want to know you got the right stuff and then you're not using something that's going to make it worse. 2, if you are walking with somebody who's going through cancer and want to just give a little gift here or there, knowing what to pick up and what the doctors recommend, because there's no way you're going to know unless they tell you. And how do you give a gift if it's a little tricky. So hopefully some products on that list will help if you want to give a gift to somebody that you love that is going through breast cancer or radiation, or, I mean, in some of this stuff, it's not about the body part so much as it's just what radiation does to your body. Okay, so today on day 13, skin irritation, redness, and peeling. I have skin irritation, redness. This is pretty mild compared to the pictures that you see. It's there. Peeling, no. Fatigue, yes. Swelling, itchiness, pain, tenderness. I've got swelling, itchiness. I don't think I have any actual pain at the moment. Tenderness, definitely, if you touch me. Muscle tightening, I felt this in the first few days. I don't feel it as much right now, because of the work that I did in physical therapy to get range of motion back in that arm because of the 3 surgeries in the armpit. Um, early on in radiation, I felt like that really reduced. I don't feel it as much now. So that is good news. Arm swelling, yes. Sore throat, yes. Shortness of breath and cough, no. Hallelujah. There's one on the list I don't have. So again, your results may vary, but that's what it feels like on day 13. Um, One thing that I've done for myself that I'm really glad that I did, really super glad that I did, is that the first 2 weeks I drove myself most of the time. Xavier drove me sometimes, but when you're dealing with an appointment that takes 40 minutes to get there, 15 minutes to be there, 40 minutes to get home, it takes a chunk out of your day. So we could not handle Xavier coming every day because it's just too much out of billable hours. So, it's already hard enough financially without taking a lot of time away from work, without taking a lot more time away from work. So he drove me a little. I drove most of the first 2 weeks. And then the best gift I gave myself was contacting a couple of friends and asking. And this is not an easy thing for me because I am not a reach out and ask somebody to help me kind of person. I'm always the one that people are asking. I'm a little more comfortable being on that side. But yeah, I asked a couple of friends. And so I have lined up for the last 2 weeks of treatment to have somebody to drive me. And you know what? Because of the aspect of how much damage that the treatment does to your immune system. And so it's good not to be hanging out with people, especially somebody who's sick. And because your immune system is so sensitive right now, it's good to be alone more. But alone more can be really difficult because the isolation can be really challenging. And, the whole mental game of cancer is really stretching, I think, and pretty difficult on some days. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's some days it's like no big deal. Got this, no sweat. Some days it's not like that at all. And it is okay to not be okay. So I think it's a really great gift that I gave myself to ask friends to help out to get me there and back because I was concerned about my energy levels, knowing that I still am in grad school. I'm still trying to do the things, and if I completely wore myself out getting there and getting back, I just felt like I might, it just might be too much. So people had offered to help. And so I went ahead and took some folks up on that. And I just am so grateful I did. I just got to hang out with Lisa today. I got other people coming this week. And it's just such a gift to me that people are willing to hang out with me and take me back and forth, drive, guess. It's, I recognize how much it costs folks to drive clear over here to start with, and then drive clear up there and clear back. So yeah, it's an amazing gift that people would do that for me. So I am just so incredibly blessed and grateful that I have people in my life who are willing to step up when I asked and reached out. So let's see, what else do I need to tell you today? Yeah, I think the skincare is really important during radiation. So I may revisit this in a future thing, but I think I've covered it pretty well because, um, yeah, the skin really shows when you start chemo. Whoa, that was uncomfortable. But I think I had a few small spots when I started the second batch of chemo, but it wasn't nearly as bad as the first time. So yeah, I think that's it. Thanks for watching. I think I will try to write some of this into the description section so that you can look over that. I also intend, now I haven't gotten it done yet, but it is my intention to write out some of the products that have really been helpful for me in this journey because I think people like to give good gifts people like to do something, during somebody's cancer journey when they're close. And so, like, what what cap did I buy that I liked? What this did I buy? I mean, because I've bought a number of things along in the journey, and some of them were duds, and some of them were actually pretty good. So I want to put together, it's on my list of things to do that I haven't gotten done yet. There's quite a few of those. But I will put that on my website, shenk.blog, at some point when I get it done. It's not going to be today because I have an assignment to do for class. All right, well, I will get off here and just breathe for a few minutes because I'm feeling the exhaustion creep up on me, and I've got a ways to go. I found that there are some things I can still do when I get to the way I'm feeling at the moment, which I probably will need to rest for a little while before I do that. First of all, can we just recognize that like completing a sentence is hard when you're exhausted? I mean, oh, help me, Jesus. So, yeah, it's good to stop when it's time to stop. And it is okay to not be okay. Your liver is going through a lot when you're going through chemo and radiation. It is going through a lot. Try to take it easy and give it a break. Drink a lot of water, be kind to yourself. Hang out with people who are kind to you. Yeah, it's important. It really is. Thanks for hanging out with me for a little while. Sorry that I just rambled on for so long. It's my intention to make these shorter, but it just is what it is. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. You are in my prayers and you are in God's hands. Amen. Amen. See you tomorrow.